Good morning, dear participants. Today we are going to discuss gross profit and manufacturing firms. We already know what is gross profit from our last video. Today we are going to deep dive and understand what gross profit means for us as a manufacturing firm. If you are someone who's looking at a manufacturing firm, why is it important for you? To start with, I'm Abhishek Sinha and I will be taking you through this concept. The first thing that I want to do for you to do now is to visualize. You have to visualize a manufacturing firm or a manufacturing plant. And I'm sure this is what comes to your mind. But if you want to be someone who can analyze a business or run a business, this is not what I want you to do. What you have to understand from today is that you are dealing with a tangible product. So manufacturing firm is about dealing with a tangible product. So I hope you understand this. Tangible product is something which has a definite shape, a definite size, and you can see. For example, this tire, this is a tangible product. I can convert my raw material into this final product, which is a tire, and from here I will get what is known as revenue. Now, what is the raw material for tire? Most of us know this. It is rubber sheets. So what I am going to do now is call this cost of goods sold, and the difference between both of them is gross profit. So this is the reward that you get for having revenue and cost of goods sold together. In other words, the difference between revenue and cost of goods sold gives the company its first level of profit, and this profit we call gross profit. Now before I go further, can the tire company keep changing its price regularly? No, they cannot really play around with its price on a regular basis. They have long-term contracts with the auto companies, so they cannot change the price of the tires. But what happens to rubber? We all know that rubber comes from rubber plant and hence it's a commodity. There is a demand for the commodity and there's a supply of the commodity that determines the price. Due to this, there is going to be a change in the cost of goods sold continuously, but I will not be able to change my revenue regularly. That is why gross profit is important. For all those who are not able to visualize till now, don't worry. I am taking you through an example now. What I am doing is I've taken some data from Capital Line, and this data pertains to the same company that we have been talking about for some time, that is MRF. So what I have taken is net sales for 3 years, cost of goods sold for 3 years, and I have found the difference between both of them, and as you know, it is gross profit. From here, what you are getting is the gross profit for 3 different years. Now, if I look at the absolute figures, 5,531 crore, 5,784 crores, and 5,587 crores, no message comes to me. I do not understand what this message, these numbers mean. I cannot take a decision based on these numbers. So what do? I take the gross profit figure. I take the net sales figure. I divide gross profit by net sales, and what I get is gross profit percent. I'm expressing it in percent. So for the 3 years, I have gross profit divided by net sales into 100. And what have I got? I've got a gross profit percent of 35%, 39%, and 42%. Those who do not like numbers and are getting dissuaded by looking at this, let me tell you what I mean. I basically mean that the gross profit percent for MRF has come down in 3 years. In other words, cost of goods sold. has increased as a percentage of sales. So if you look at it, in the first year, it was only 58%. That is 100 minus 42%. 100% is net sales and 42% is gross profit. So net sales minus gross profit will give you cost of goods sold. So here I have my cost of goods sold as 58% in the first year. Again, it has increased to 61% and it has again increased to 65%. So this has impacted my first level of profit. My first level of profit has come down over the 3 years. This is what we need to understand. And before I end this session, let's just get this figure clearly. Whatever I have done here is to create this graph. And this graph is what a CEO, a CFO, and a marketing head will have in his table, and he will take decisions based on this graph. So we need to understand that this graph gives you a basic movement of your gross profit, and whatever I'm talking in perspective of manufacturing companies only. I am not talking about service companies. So the companies I'm talking about are companies which have tangible products. So it can be a paint company like Asian Paints. It can be a Tata Steel which manufactures steel. It can be Tata Motors. It can be Maruti Udyog. It can be any of these companies. But for all these companies, the first thing that you look at is gross profit. And to understand this gross profit, you always calculate a gross profit percent. And once you have calculated a gross profit percent, you visualize it as a graph. I hope you have understood whatever I have talked about. So you can contact me at the given phone number, and this is also my mail ID given here. This is the WhatsApp number. Also, you can also text me if you have any doubts, any clarification. If there's any other ideas that you have which can be used for my videos, you can also leave it as a comment. I would be more than obliged to cover as many topics which interests you. Thank you.